Today is Friday, July 29. I'm Pastor Anthony, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Today our text comes from Psalm 63. You, God, are my God. Earnestly I seek you. I thirst for you. My whole being longs for you. In a dry and parched land where there is no water. I have seen you in the sanctuary, and beheld your power and your glory. Because your love is better than life, my lips will glorify you. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. I will be fully satisfied as with the richest of foods. With singing lips, my mouth will praise you. That's Psalm 63, verses 1 through 5. In a dry and parched land where there is no water. Do you ever feel like you live in that land? Where nothing satisfies? Where you remain unsleepingly restless, full of desires and longings, but with no pursuit that you can find that ever really quenches it? We can distract ourselves from this roving restlessness of desire for something with almost anything. Our phone, a show, work, sports, relationships, or any number of lesser goods that beckon. But they never quite quench the thirst. If we're honest, in those times when we're brave enough to sit still and quiet to face ourselves for any extended period of time, the restlessness is still there. This is the heartstring that psalms like this one pluck. This is what it means to be thirsty for God. It's that ambiguous, never satisfied restlessness that drives us, or maybe that we run from. That's our thirst. That's our soul craving, growling at us. And that's the reason that nothing we do with the stuff of this world ever seems to satisfy it for long. Because it's a thirst for God. You just can't quench it with anything else. Not with a busy, successful life. Not with games and entertainment. Not with a bunch of friends, likes, or reactions. It is God that sustains our life. Not just practically through the provisions of food and drink, work and rest, or even the breath of life itself that God gives. No, to say that it is God who sustains our life means more than that. Our whole life finds its end, its purpose, its satisfaction, its fulfillment, its home, its joy, its rest in God. Your love is better than life, declares the psalmist. To have God's love is to have more than all we could ever ask or imagine, more than even having life itself. Does that mean that all those other things aren't important? Our relationships, our work, our enjoyment of life? Not at all. But everything in its proper place. With our desires having found their proper end and fulfillment firstly in God, it actually sets us free to truly enjoy all those other things that we otherwise might only pursue as a means of escape or as a false consolation. Said differently, with our thirst quenched by God, our body is refreshed and ready to really live. And that living that we do after our restless desires have found their resting place in God, it all becomes an act of worship, praising God as long as we live, because His love is better than life. If you'd like to hear a musical version of this psalm that I grew up with, you can search for Better Than Life by a cappella, or you can find it in the notes. There's a link there to Spotify. But for now, as you journey on, seeking life in God, go also with His blessing. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever He may send you. May He guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May He bring you home rejoicing at the wonders He has shown you. May He bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.